All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Oscar De La Hoya getting busted, called out by Floyd Mayweather Jr. CEO Leonard Ellerbe over blatant lies told about Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in the lightweight division talking about something that's been going on over the last couple days, which I am really happy to say that Floyd Mayweather Jr. CEO Leonard Ellerbe came out and dismissed, and not only dismissed it, actually put a wager on it with Oscar De La Hoya in a way that will stop these people from telling stories about Gervonta Davis. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. All right, so here we go. Oscar De La Hoya has been forced, in my opinion, to talk about a fight between his pretty much the cash cow now of his organization, Ryan Garcia, and Gervonta Tank Davis, who is the WBA regular champion at 135 pounds. Ryan Garcia is throwing Gervonta's name around, talking about how he wants to fight him. And Oscar De La Hoya, in my opinion, is forced to act like he actually wants to make the fight. However, everything that he's doing makes me feel as if he wants anything but that fight to happen. But so yesterday, he gave an interview to Fight Hype, and most definitely shout out to Fight Hype. Fight Hype does really great work, has a lot of interviews that they do that a lot of other people really can't get. And in this particular instance, Oscar De La Hoya said something that was quite shocking to me and anybody else that listened to what he said. And it was over the conversation about it had to do with the conversation of how the fight can get made and what Mayweather Promotions and Gervonta Davis need to do in order to get the fight. And pretty much what he has been saying is that they want to split the pay-per-view between Showtime and DAZN. Also, split everything in the fight straight down the middle, 50-50 between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. His logic is that Gervonta Davis is not the clear A side in the negotiations between the two. And one fact, big time quote on these facts that Oscar De La Hoya pulled out was that Gervonta Davis does not do really big pay-per-views. In fact, this is quoting Oscar De La Hoya. Gervonta Davis has never sold over 100,000 pay-per-views in all of the pay-per-views that he had. Now, Leonard Ellerbe responded to that. Leonard Ellerbe is the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, and he did so in a very, very convincing fashion, which was a put your money where your mouth is type of fashion. And so what he said was, look, I will bet you that, first of all, he's like, what you guys are saying about trying to make a fight with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia is a lie. Pretty much everything that you're doing and saying and asking for is something that you know that we're not going to give, and Ryan Garcia does not deserve. I'm paraphrasing here. And he says that you've been trying to do everything you can not to get this fight done. Now, he specifically says, as far as the pay-per-view goes, that Gervonta Davis has done significantly over 100,000 pay-per-views for every pay-per-view that he had, and that they were willing to bet Oscar De La Hoya. They said that Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions would put up $5 million up against $1 million that Oscar De La Hoya can have, or whatever. They're very insulting, or whatever you can scrape up. We can give the money to an arbiter, and the arbiter can then review the official pay-per-view numbers for Gervonta Davis. And if I am right that it's over 100,000, they've done significantly over 100,000 pay-per-views, then we keep the money. If you are right, you keep the money. So pretty much it's five. If you really do have the facts, and that you know that he has not done over 100,000 pay-per-views, then okay, you got $5 million if you're willing to prove it. Put the $1 million up. So if we get $1 million for wasting our time going through this with you. If you're telling the truth, you get $5 million. Now, we all know what is going to happen. Oscar De La Hoya is not going to even consider doing that because he's going to lose it. Oscar De La Hoya is obviously not telling the truth with that. Even the most conservative estimates for Gervonta Davis's pay-per-views have it over 100,000. And just common sense would tell you, if they know that if they're continually doing under 100,000 pay-per-views, why would they continue to put the man on pay-per-view? Because clearly there's not going to be any real payback or back end on that. And, if it happens once, okay, but 4 or 5 times that Gervonta's been on pay-per-view, man, stop it, give it a break. That's just not real. Now, what is the real truth behind it? Again, I reiterate, Oscar De La Hoya does not want that fight. Just like he doesn't want Jaime Munguia to fight anybody. He does not want Ryan Garcia to get in there with Gervonta Davis. He is protecting his assets and have been doing so for a while. Take, for example, Jaime Munguia, who signed with him, and was the 154-pound champion. Now he's at 160 pound. They got an offer to Jaime Munguia to fight for Jermall Charlo for the WBC title at 160 pounds. Jaime Munguia agreed to the fight. Oscar De La Hoya jumps in and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't do it unless this fight is also on DAZN." Now, the people that are paying for the fight and interested in the fight is Showtime. DAZN did not make any offer for the fight or ask or suggest that they were going to pay for the fight, but somehow Jaime Munguia needs to fight. This fight needs to be a split fight with DAZN. DAZN must be involved. Same thing that he's doing here with Ryan Garcia, claiming DAZN has to be involved. Now, any way you cut it, however, even if he was right about the pay-per-views with Ryan Garcia, Leonard Ellerbe also comes out and says, look, you guys just did a $1.5 million gate in the same auditorium that Gervonta Davis fought Isaac Cruz in, and they did a $3.5 million gate, and that is published information. And he said that Gervonta Davis's last fight did more than all of the last 3 gates for Ryan Garcia combined. So if you want to talk about A side and B side, and number one, bet this money on what the pay-per-views were with Gervonta in his pay-per-views. However, we know that Ryan Garcia hasn't had any pay-per-views. So in my opinion, it's a moot point. And then the second thing is, look at the gates and what people are selling in the gates and how much money you're bringing in for the actual people that attend. That is publicly verifiable information. And you will see that Ryan Garcia brings in a third of what Gervonta Davis does. So right off there, you're not talking about 50-50. You're talking about 60-30. You're talking about 66-33. Right? How's that? Yeah. 66-33. 2/3 when you're only doing a third of what Gervonta's doing. So anyway, man, I thought that was funny. All this nonsense coming out of Oscar De La Hoya's mouth is nothing but a bunch of talk. Those guys are not serious about trying to make that fight, because if they did make that fight, more than likely Ryan Garcia is going to get knocked out and pop goes the weasel over there and Golden Boy. They already lost Canelo Alvarez. They're not trying to lose Gervonta Davis as well. They're not even willing to risk Jaime Munguia. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.